name is Andrew. Welcome to the Portage County Amateur Radio Service Incorporated PCARS Thursday night 2-meter net here on the K8IV repeater system. I'll be using the club call K8BF for the net. This repeater system also accepts inputs from Echolink, so I'll be asking for check-ins from around the corner to around the world here on the Kent repeater. This repeater receiver is located in Sugarbush Knolls using a PL tone of 118.8 plus Echolink through the K8BF-L Echolink node. I'll be your net control operator this evening. As always, if you have any emergency or priority traffic, you may break into this net at any time. This is a directed net, and all calls will go through net control. You don't have to be a member of PCARS to check in and say hello. Everyone is welcome. PCARS meets the second Monday of each month at 7 p.m. The monthly meeting is held at the American Legion Post 496 in Kent. The post is located at 1945 Mogador Road. We look forward to seeing you there. The PCARS website is located at www.portcars.org. You can find out more information about PCARS on the website. PCARS also has a number of special interest groups that meet at the club site every Tuesday in Ravenna. Check out the latest award-winning newsletter on the club website for all the information on these and other PCARS activities. During this net, I'll take pauses when asking for Echolink check-ins since they have a slight delay in audio. When you check in, please give me your call sign, name, and location. I'll acknowledge each call sign as I get them. Please be aware that the repeater system has a 4-minute timeout. I've got Echolink pulled up on my side, and I'll keep an eye out for anybody that joins in there so we can get them worked into the list. But right now it's empty, so we'll take a quick skip to asking for local RF check-ins that have announcements or news for the net. If that's you, please call K8BF now.
K8TOA.
Hey, good evening, Greg. K88TOA. I'll just go ahead and turn it over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, my quick announcement is for the net control operators. The website has been updated for January, February, and March of next year. And I did send out an email to the different participants and net operators. So everybody should have received that. So basically that's pretty much what I got to report as far as announcements, and I'll let other people get in here, and I'll check back in a little later.
Sounds good. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I got your email, and I'm checking with the boss to see if we're going to be good for that late January. So I might circle back with you. I think it's possible we'll be out of town, but I'll let you know. Thanks for checking in on that information. Is there any other station that has news or announcements for the net? Please call now. Alrighty, well, hearing nothing, let's move on to our general local RF check-ins. Please call K8BF with your call sign, name, and location.
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor Victor KE8WVV. Ethan in Manaway.
Hey, good evening, Ethan. Thanks for joining us tonight. I got you in the book here. Next station, please call K8BF.
WCK, Rick in Shalersville.
K88WCK, Rick, I've got you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Next station, please call K8BF.
KC8JC, JC in Kent.
KC8JC, I got you, JC, thank you. And let's look for one or two more, please call.
KD8OVA, Ken in Ravenna.
Okay, Ken, I got you there in Ravenna, KE8OVA. There was another station there, but Ken won, so please come back.
W8KNO, Joe and Hiram.
Okay, W8KNO, I got you, Joe. Okay, let's circle back up to Ethan, KE8WVV from Manaway. Thanks for joining us tonight, Ethan.
KE8WVV, well, good evening to everyone here on the net. Well, we got a lot of organization and cleaning done. Moved a whole bunch of canned goods to a better room in the house, here in the basement, I guess. And cleaned up a bunch of RC airplanes and cars, and got them put in the same spot, we'll say that. They were scattered about, and now they're not. Sitting in front of me, I got probably $200 in RC car tires. And I realized just how much we have done, and how fortunate we are to have all of these tires for different dirt, clay, on-road, off-road kind of situations. And we also have done a little bit of Christmas shopping, and got back from that just a little bit ago here, and I think that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and hand it back to Net. 73 is KE8WVV. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, Ethan, and Merry Christmas to you, too. It sounds like quite an organizational project, but it always feels good to get done with something like that. So very nice, and hopefully you get out there and burn some rubber here. It looks like we got some nice weather kind of continuing in the short term anyway, so hopefully you get to have some fun outside. Okay, next up on my list is Rick in Shalersville, KD8WCK. Good evening, Rick.
ABF from KD8WCK. Good evening, Andrew. Just tuck in the back of your mind, if you need somebody to swap with you on a Control Thursday, give me a call. We'll see if it would work out if needed. Well, we went on a shopping expedition this evening to a store I had driven by for several years and kept saying, never stopped in there. And stopped in there, and they didn't have the one thing that we were looking for, but they had a whole bunch of other things that managed to get into the shopping basket before we left, so that was all right. So, nice weather today, not too miserable cold. Didn't spend much time outdoors or anything, and don't have a whole lot to say, but it's nice to hear everybody's voices. Back to Net Control, this is KD8WCK.
Thank you, Rick. That sounds like a successful trip, and I will check in with you about a swap there, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, I need to get out and get started, period, with my Christmas shopping, so maybe this weekend, we'll see. Okay, next up on the list is JC in Kent, KC8JC. Over to you.
Good evening, Andrew and the Net. This is KC8JC. Maybe this should have gone as an announcement, but I'm going to step in and take on the role of editor of the radiogram, the newsletter. So if you have things that you'd like to submit, I'd like to get them in a little bit early because it's my first time going through this, and we've got some holidays coming up. So if you have things to submit, go ahead and toss them my direction. There's about 300 different ways to get my email. The QRZ one works, but you can also just send it to my call sign at mycallsign.com. So aside from that, I've been spending a lot of time in the parks. I've adopted CW as my new mode of choice, so I'm chugging away in nice little scripted out CODA activation type conversations and QSOs at about a raging 12 to 15 words a minute, but we're getting better, so that's about all I've got. So with that, I will turn it back to Ned. This is KC8JC.
Very good, JC. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for taking over the newsletter. That's awesome. I don't know if you had a particular date in mind to kind of inch up the deadline there.
Yeah, Good call. Actually, if I could get some kind of note telling me that you're going to do something by this weekend, that would be great. I know I put a thing out to the officers and a general call to the folks who run the SIGs to try and get stuff pulled in by this weekend. So if I could get things all lined up and know at least that you're sending me something or get something sent, that'd be great and help me kind of pull this together the first time. And thanks for the catch, Casey at JC.
Okay, very good. I'll repeat that a little bit later with the announcements. And like I said, thanks for that. And also, congratulations on the CW POTA. That is like probably it's an easy way to like dip your feet in. It's hard copying all those calls when they're calling you, but it is scripted. And if you are hunting, it's even easier because you're just sending your call sign and basically listening for your call sign. So it's a great way to get started, and it's a lot of fun. And it's always cool to have more CW activators out there. That's really awesome. So I'm excited you did that, and I'll keep an eye out. I think it'd be real fun to catch you at one of these parks. So very nice. Okay, well let's move into further down our list. We've got KE8OVA, Ken in Ravenna. Over to you, Ken.
Okie dokie. Well, that's Kilo Delta Bravo, or Kilo Delta 8 Oscar Bravo Alpha. Well, I don't even know my own cosine. You got that?
Thanks for the correction. I've got it on my side. KD8OBA, Kilo Delta 8 Oscar Bravo Alpha.
QSL. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to get that straight because I'm still shooting for that 10 check-ins. I don't even remember where I'm at now. 7, 6, 7, somewhere around in there. But anyway, I don't have that much to say other than everybody maybe say a prayer or wish well-wishing or something for W8KFW, Carl. He had to go into the hospital yesterday morning early. And they transferred him from Ravenna up to, Tri-Point up there in Painesville. So he should be doing pretty good. He said he was doing a lot better, and they would just wanted to keep him for a day or two. So he should be home pretty soon. But I just figured I'd throw that out there, and I guess that would be about it. That's all I wanted to say there. Back to the net there. KD8OBA.
Thank you, Ken. Regarding the 10 check-ins, I put a note here on the log sheet, so Greg will see that, and he can check in with you there on how many more you need to go. So we've got it all tracked, and we'll give you a status update, but it sounds like you're getting close, so very good. Okay, let's check in with Joe, W8KNO, and then we've got a few folks on Echolink that I'll move to after that. So, Joe, over to you. Good evening.
Good evening, Andrew, and good evening to everyone else. And if I don't talk to you next week, Merry Christmas. I want to remind everyone something you might not know. Next Wednesday, the 20th, from 6 to 8 o'clock on the Warren repeater, 14697 machine, they'll have Santa on the air. So if you have any small children, or if you're a big child and you want to talk to Santa, please check in. Other than that, I've been throwing stuff away, and my garbage can is filled out at the street tonight. So with that, back to you, Andrew, W8KNO.
Thank you, Joe. Always nice to hear on there, and hope to catch you later this month. I've been kind of bad about checking in on the nets when I'm not running them, but I want to finish strong this year, so hopefully I'll catch you all again in the next couple Thursdays here and finish out 2023 strong. Okay, we're going to move up to our Echolink check-ins now. We've got a few here. So first up is Gary, WB2RPW. Good evening, Gary.
K8BF in the group, WB2RPW, Gary in Eatontown, New Jersey. Very good evening to everybody on the net. And we're finishing biology tomorrow. We got the final exam in biology, so we're going to do that. But I wanted to get on and wish everybody a good evening. And after tomorrow, we'll be through with the biology, and then next week going up to see my brother for the Christmas holiday. So we'll be on the road from Thursday forward. K8BF in the group, WB2RPW. Thanks, Andrew.
Very good. Thank you, Gary, and congratulations on another semester in the books. Okay, next up on Echolink is Daryl, WX4QZ. Over to you tonight, Daryl.
K8BS on the net from WX4QZ, Daryl, Little Rock, Arkansas. Good evening, Andrew, and all on the net. First off, I want to thank everybody. I got several of these QSL/get well cards from PCARS folks. I had left hip replacement surgery just over a month ago. Before the surgery, I could barely walk, even with a walker. The pain was at a 9. Now it is at a 1. Spent 2 nights in the hospital, 3 nights with friends, and back home, but I was off the air for 3 weeks because couldn't bend over and plug the computers back in. We've had some days of thunderstorms here. But some square dance friends, one of my other hobbies, came by a couple weekends ago, did a major cleanup and reorganization, threw out a bunch of stuff I no longer wanted, needed, or had use for, so I can now, get around a lot better and everything and finally get back online. The square dancing I was into 5 years before I became a ham, and I've used ham radio 2 square dance events to save individuals' lives. And I'm doing about as much in square dancing as ham radio.
Hey, Daryl, you got cut off by the ID on the repeater end, and I could tell you, or at least on my side, it looked like you were still keyed up on Echolink, so I think there was a little bit of a hang-up between Echolink kind of kicking back in due to that ID, but it cut off right after you were talking about square dancing and your surgery, so if you want to come back and try again, I'd be curious to see if Echolink is still working.
Yeah, KBS and then FWX4QZ. I have to wear the squelch tail after the original thing because first I keys, then there's a squelch tail that comes in. So I have to wait on that to get back in, and probably for the other stations as well. But like I said, I'm doing about as much dancing for the Arkansas State Square Dance Federation, and as I am, with amateur radio. But feels good to be back on the air, even though I'm still, in recovery mode, but I'm getting around a lot better. But for now, we'll go ahead and I'll throw it back over to you. And I gather there will be a net on Christmas week and New Year's week, but if there isn't, just let me know. But I do know some nets are canceling for the holidays. Just check with the various net controls. KABF and WX4QZ. Hopefully I got through all the way this time.
Yep, we got you. Thanks for coming back there, Daryl, and I'm glad to hear that that surgery is helping, and best wishes for a speedy and complete recovery. Hopefully you're totally back up and running there. But yeah, it seems like Echolink is working fine, and I get what you're saying about the squelch tail there. I think that probably was the issue, and that ID kicked off. Okay, well, next up on the list, we've got Philip in Twinsburg, K8PJW. Over to you tonight, Philip.
K8BF, K8PJW. Good evening, everyone, and it's nice to be on the net again. I thoroughly enjoyed the Christmas dinner on Monday. The food was excellent. I just can't say more about it. I mean, I was already fearing a dry steak and boiled vegetables, but I tell you, they did a real bang-up job producing that dinner. So thoroughly enjoyed that. This week's going to be mostly wrapping Christmas presents and stuff as we prepare ourselves for a trip to Grand Rapids for Christmas time. So next week I'll be working at the Board of Elections for a week to verify petitions, and so I'll be a little bit busy then, so I'm not sure if I'll make the net then or not. It all depends on how long they have us working. So with that, I'll hand it back to you. Have a great week, everyone. This is K8PJW. Back to the net.
Very good. Thank you, Philip. Nice to have you on the air this evening. And Daryl, I did double-check our calendar. We are going to have nets through the end of the year, so hope to catch you in the next couple weeks there as well. Okay, well, let me take a quick moment to identify this as the Thursday night 2-meter PCARS net here on the K8 IV repeater system. This is K8BF. Anybody is welcome to join us. Just go ahead and call with your call sign, name, and location. We'd be happy to have you. And if you check in 10 times in a row, we'll send you a certificate. We're excited to have you join us. We do have a couple of announcements. Things have kind of slowed down a little bit with the holidays and the end of the year, but we do have our next meeting coming up on January 8th. That's going to be at the American Legion Post there in Kent. You can always check our website, which is www.portcars.org for more information on our upcoming events, but that meeting is going to be January 8th, like I said, and the topic is the Carol Perry Youth and Radio organization. One other quick announcement, JC is taking over editing our newsletter, The Radiogram, and since this is kind of the beginning of his career there, he's asking for early inputs, or at least a heads up if you're planning to submit something for the newsletter. So if you could reach out to JC and let him know by this weekend, he can have that extra planning time. There's different options for contact. You can check the website, his QRZ page, or his call sign, which is KC8JC at KC8JC.com. So if you'd let him know, he'd appreciate that. Okay, well, that's what we've got for announcements. Let's go back and look for any other RF check-ins.
K8BF, this is WB8LCD. Tom in Sugarbush Knolls.
Good evening, Tom. I got you on the list here. WB8LCD. Thanks for joining us tonight. Any other next station, please call.
N8QE, Bob in Talmadge, Ohio.
Okay, I got you there, Bob, N8QE. Thank you much. There's another station there, but I could tell you're there, but I didn't catch anything, so please come back.
Papa 4, Victor Zulu, Mike from Manway.
Okay, I got you that time, Mike. Thank you much. KP4, Victor Zulu. Very good. Coming from Manaway. Next station, please call.
KE8, ARB, Brandon in Manaway.
AC8, JR, Andy, Washington Township.
Okay, I copied Brandon, KE8ARB, coming at us from Manaway, and AC8JR, Andy from Washington Township. Alright, well, let's take a quick pause and circle back up to Tom in Sugarbush Knolls, WB8LCD. Over to you, Tom.
KBF in the net, this is WB8LCD. You know, we got a lot of change going on here in PCARS, and first off, I would like to say thank you to Nick and Jim, Parky, and everyone else who was contributing to the success of PCARS over the last number of years. You guys all did a great job. I appreciate it, and the club appreciates it too, I know. I'd also like to say thank you to Mike and Ken and JC, everyone coming in and stepping up to keep the ball rolling forward. I say thank you because I appreciate that someone's going to be there keeping the lights on and keeping things moving forward, because PCARS is just an outstanding club. And you know what? Even if you're not an officer of the club or you know, in any of what people think are the important positions, there's a lot of positions that people are doing, and all the things. And even if your position is that you're a member and you show up and come and do things with us, that's all important, and I thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to a great new year coming forward. Jennifer, KD8LIR, is sitting here with me. She's looking forward to a fun new year coming up with our new officers. And I guess the last thing I would like to say is thank you to everyone who sent me chocolate chip cookies. They were delicious. So, with yeah, she did too. She did too. Anyhow, I just want to thank everybody. It's great to be in a great club like PCARS, and looking forward to a lot of fun in the coming years. So, with that, I'll say 73. Wish everybody a happy Christmas and New Year's. Although I'll be finishing out the nets with you, but I just want to get that in case you don't make it to the nets. So. That's all I got to say tonight. Back to you, Andrew, and you're doing a great job as net control. We appreciate that also. This is WB8LCD.
Thank you, Tom, and here on your comments to everybody who's participating in the club. That's very important, and just like you said, it's great to have everybody cycling into those new rules. So very good. And finally, hello to Jenny. Nice to hear you both on the air there. Okay, we've got Bob and Talmadge up next, N8QE. Over to you tonight, Bob.
Yeah, good evening to you, Andrew, and everybody on the net. Yeah, Monday's holiday gathering there at the American Legion was very good. The food was excellent. I can't complain at all. Even my wife said that the chicken was great, and I had the steak, and the steak was really good too. So they definitely have a good winner there for a Christmas party as we had it. And I'd also like to thank Rick, KHCAV, for hosting last night's FlexNet there on 2 meters. That was a lot of fun. We had a number of participants. Wish we had more, but it was a really good time and lots of fun. Like everything else, PCARS, a lot of things out there are having fun. All right, and that's it, Andrew. N8QE, back to you.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Bob. Okay, Mike in Manaway, KB4, Victor Zulu. Over to you, Mike.
Good evening all, this is Mike from Manaway. The dinner was excellent. I want to add something that JC said. Don't forget to send your comments, your news, and there's another email that you guys can also use. You have a lot of emails. This one is newsletter@PCARS.org. And also, you can have a chance, go to the website. We have making some changes. We spent the day today. I want to continue doing changes, always to make it look better and make it greater. Back to you, Net Control. This is KP4 BZ.
Thank you, Mike. Very good. All right, continuing with Manaway, let's check in with Brandon, KE8ARB. Over to you tonight, Brandon.
K8BF, this is KE8ARB, and thank you for running the net tonight, Andrew. You sound great. Good to hear you. We don't see each other nearly enough. And anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to Mike. I didn't look at the website today, but I have been looking at it recently, and I love the updates. It's really cleaned up and organized, and I appreciate the work that you're putting in. I think others do as well. With that being said, I've actually been doing some computer work recently too. I picked up a Raspberry Pi 5, and I swore off Raspberry Pis, the computer variant, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then about 5 or 6 days later, some of the ham software that I was using said, hey, here's how you can have our software. It comes in a Raspberry Pi image, and I thought, well, I guess I'm not swearing off Pis entirely yet. So anyway, we've been having a lot of fun with that. We've been doing some behind-the-scenes stuff with amateur radio on the Pis that I'm really excited about, mostly around software-defined radios, and hopefully I'll have some time to put something together. Let me let the repeater drop for 1 second here. Alrighty, with all that being said, we do have an outing, a portable operations outing in January, and I think we've made some mention of it, but look for that in the newsletter. I don't know if John is going to write something up or if I'm going to do it, but we're going to have the details in there. I believe we have everything solidified for the 20th at Wingfoot Lake, and we should have a lot of fun. And I know that the weather can be kind of a variable thing in here, but we're going to have hot food, we're going to have heaters, we're going to have windbreaks, so it should be a lot of fun. If it's really, really cold, we're going to have a heated tent as well. So Gene has kind of volunteered to step in and improve the warmth for our cold outings in the winter, and I appreciate that, and it's always a lot of fun to hang out there. So hopefully you'll be able to make it out there and join us. So with that, I am going to hand things back to Net Control and say 73. K8BF, this is KE8ARB.
Thank you, Brandon, and very good. And by the way, we do have that announcement on the next park operating time at Wingfoot Lake here in January up on the website. So it's all there, and if that's something that you're curious about, it's very fun. It's worth coming out and checking out. It's a nice view of portable operating. It's fun to get out into a park, and then there's always a nice crowd there, so it's fun to check that out. I have been out of the Raspberry Pi game for a little while too. COVID made things crazy and kind of hard to come by, although I did have the good fortune of buying the Pi 400, the one that is integrated into a keyboard before things got too crazy, and that's a lot of fun. I've got a little Raspberry Pi and TV kind of monitor set up out in my garage so I can look up things, invariably pull up directions that I didn't think I need, but I do need when I'm working on something in the garage, and it's pretty fun. But I've kind of been trying to think of a good way to integrate that into radio type things, especially with SDR, so I'm curious to see what you'll have on that. That's really exciting. Okay, well, I've got one more on my list here. Andy in Washington Township, AC8JR. Good evening tonight, Andy.
Good evening, Andrew, and everybody else on the net. I was listening, and I think it was Tom made a comment about chocolate chip cookies. Well, I have found myself diving into something chocolate covered. It was chocolate espresso beans, dark chocolate espresso beans, and I'm going to tell you what, I had a good handful of them, and somebody thinks that, coffee beans aren't good just to eat, but tell you what, when you get those chocolate-covered ones, they're something to dive into. Not much else happening as far as the radios go. I do have 37.9 degrees at my QTH, and I'm going to turn it back to that. AC8JR.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Andy, and you're not kidding about those chocolate coffee beans. They are delicious, although I do have to say I hope you're at least wish you luck on falling asleep tonight. Hopefully you didn't eat them too late. I know for me, after about 3 p.m., the caffeine comes back and it causes problems, but anyway, they are delicious. It's a great little treat. Okay, well, let me take a quick moment to identify this as the Portage County Amateur Radio Service Incorporated 2-meter net here on the K8IV repeater system. This is K8BF, and we'd be happy to have you join us. All we need is for you to call with your call sign, name, and location. We do have a few events coming up here, kicking off the new year. So first off, we've got our next meeting at the American Legion Post in Kent. You can always check our website, www.portcars.org, for information on all our events that are coming up. But on January 8th, we'll be meeting at the American Legion, and the topic is the Carol Perry Youth and Radio Program. One other quick announcement here is that we are looking for input on the newsletter just a little bit earlier this month. If you could let JC know if you're planning to submit something. We've got several options for contact. An easy one might be newsletter@portcars.org. Or if you're into call signs, we've got KC8JC@KC8JC.com. It's pretty memorable as well, so if you just let him know that it's coming, he can plan accordingly. And then finally, later in January, we've got our next park operation time, Parks on the Air, POTA, January 20th at Wingfoot Lake. More information coming soon, but I encourage you to come out and check that out. It's a lot of fun. I lucked into visiting, I think in October, up at Punderson Lake. I was camping and had a real nice time as Brandon was out there operating from the park as well, along with several others. It was a lot of fun. Okay, well, with that, let's take another look for any RF check-ins. If you'd like to join us, just call K8BF with your call sign, name, and location.
8XAD, Bob in Suffield.
Paul, I copied you there. I just totally blew it on your call sign, though. If you could repeat that for me, please.
November 8, X-ray Alpha Delta.
Okay, I got you. November 8, X-ray Alpha Delta. And let's just go directly to you for your comments, if you don't mind.
Oh, don't mind at all. Still trying to set up my very first HF station, and once again back up to DX Engineering today. They sort of know me by name by now. Not sure if that's good or bad. Guess it's better than being known in a bar. 7-3 is back to net. 10-8XAD.
Very good, Paul. I've been in that position before, and yeah, like you said, it could be worse. And, you know, at least in Suffield, you're very close to DX Engineering. I tell people that every now and then when, you know, I meet somebody through radio and they talk about a project, I always have to brag that I'm like a mile away, so it's real easy to go pick up parts, and it's extremely convenient. But I wish you luck on setting up your HF station. It's totally worth the effort. So that'll be real nice. Okay, any other check-ins, please go ahead and call now.
KE8QEP, David in Ravenna.
David, thanks for joining us tonight. KE8QEP, let's just go direct to you.
Okay, K8QEP. Andrew, thanks for running the net. Like Bob said, N8QE, I had fun on the FlexNet yesterday. Otherwise, there was a meteor shower going on now, so I'm actually trying some 6-meter meteor scatter contacts on MSK 144. I'm trying to finish a contact with someone in Minnesota, although it seems to not be working so well. Other than that, I was helping repair a 16-millimeter film projector, and I didn't realize it ends up that the take-up reel needs to be of a specific size. Otherwise, the film just sort of spits out the back, because I guess it's set for a set rotations per fortnight or whatever unit they use, but the diameter, I guess they use in furlongs or something. So you need the hub has to be matched
to the speed of the take-up reel. So, in case anyone's repairing any 16mm projectors, that's something you have to consider. K8QEP, back to net, 73 all.
That sounds like a pretty interesting project, and I'm excited to hear about the meteor scatter. That sounds really fun. I've heard of that before, but I've never had a chance to give it a shot, and 6 meters is fun no matter how you slice it, but that's pretty slick to be working on a contact out to Minnesota. That's awesome. Okay, well, let's look for any other check-ins. Please call K8BF.
Whiskey Alpha 8 Alpha Romeo, Tony in Randolph.
Good evening, Tony. Thanks for joining us tonight. WA8AR. Let's just turn it over to you.
All right, K8BF in the net. This is WA8AR. I had a good time at the Christmas party here this past Monday. Good time, lots of good people there, good food too, so all in all, a great time. I've been working on a few projects here and a few electronic projects, and also working on the radio a bit and doing some other work. Other than that, kind of keeping warm, although the temperatures have not been all that bad. That's going to get worse sometime this winter, coming soon. Anyway, turn it back to net control here, WA8AR.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, it's certainly chilly, but nothing to complain about yet. At least I don't think. It could certainly be worse, as you said, and I'm sure that day's coming. But hopefully we get a nice long stretch here of mild winter at least. Okay, well, this is the Portage County Amateur Radio Service 2-meter net here on the K8 IV repeater. We'd be happy to have you join us. Just call K8BF.
K8TOA for a recheck.
Okay, go ahead, K8TOA.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Well, first of all, thanks for running the net. Appreciate that. Doing a good job as usual. Let's see. I have to echo everybody else. The dinner for the Christmas party was excellent. We had a good time, Pat and I. So we enjoyed that. And everybody's fellowship there. So that worked out pretty good. I was pretty happy about that. Let's see what else has been happening. Well, tried to catch some meteors last night, but it was a little partly cloudy, so it looks a lot clearer tonight. It was a balmy 17 degrees up here up north this morning at about 6:30 in the morning, so a little cold, but overall the weather, we can't complain for being December 14th. Break for day. I celebrated, Pat and I celebrated my birthday and my brother's anniversary tonight, so we had a good celebration, good dinner, and he'll be 77 January 1st, and I'll be 70 tomorrow. So anyways, that's basically what's going on. I'd also like to thank Jim and Nick for doing an excellent job over the years, and I noted that in the article for the newsletter, so I got that all done this morning. So with that, I'm going to say my 73s. Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm sure we'll talk to each other again next week. K8BF, K8TOA.
Very good, Greg. Merry Christmas and happy birthday to you. Oops, flipped on the mic there, but yep, happy birthday as well, and very good. Thanks for checking in and rechecking in with us. Okay, let's take any other check-ins. Please go ahead and call.
Hello, Echo 8 Tango, Quebec Romeo. Keith in Uniontown, KE8TQR.
Hi Keith, I got you here, KE8TQR in Uniontown. Thanks for joining us tonight, and let me just turn it over to you.
KABF, KE8TQR, good evening Andrew, and good evening to everyone else here on the net tonight checking in, or maybe just sitting out there listening. I know I do that myself sometimes. Anyway, hope everyone had a great Thursday and having a quiet evening. I've done some more of my antenna tower project. The tower project is moving forward. Last Friday, a friend come over, the N8LTR, and with some of his rigging, we rigged up the tower, hooked it up to my John Deere tractor, and the 30-foot of tower went smoothly up into the vertical position. It's not the full 5 sections, but it's 3 sections, so it's looking pretty good. I've got the mast pole strapped to the top section, so that gives me another 5.5 feet. And on top of that is the Comet GP15, which is the tri-bander, 6 meter, 2 meter, and 70 centimeter. Also going to put up a wire antenna that I've been loaned for the winter. I believe it does 80, 40, 20, and 10. But I've got to get my tuner looked at and see how good the condition it's in. Other than that, just having a quiet time around here, getting ready for the holidays, enjoying all the wonderful lights that are out there at night, and trying to stay away from any of the stores which are crowded. Anyway, I'm going to send this back to you, Andrew, at Net Control. Fine job you're doing tonight. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, just in case we don't talk again. So everyone have a great holiday. This is KE8TQR saying 73, everyone.
Very good, Keith. Thanks for joining us tonight, and Merry Christmas to you as well. It looked like a beautiful day to be working on an antenna project, so I'm glad everything went smooth. I was sort of outside. I was stuck driving, finishing up a work trip. But yeah, it was nice window, or nice weather for some windshield time, so I can't complain about that. All right, well, if anybody else would like to join us, please call K8BF. Portage County Amateur Radio Service Incorporated, 2-meter net here on the K8 IV repeater system. This is K8BF, and we're looking for any check-ins who'd like to join us here on our Thursday night net. All are welcome. You just need to call with your call sign, name, and location, and we'd be happy to have you. If you'd like to join, please call now.
Whiskey 7, Kilo Foxtrot, Romeo, Kyle, Mobile, and Aurora.
Kyle, I got you at W7KFR. Let me turn it right over to you, especially since you're mobile. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Okay, thanks for having me. I don't have a whole lot for the net. Sounds like everybody's got some pretty fun projects going on. And I'm sorry I missed the dinner. Usually all over that kind of thing. But anyway, W7KFR. Back to Net Control.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Kyle, and always nice to have you on the air there, so thank you much. All right, well, we are at 19 check-ins. Let's try and finish with a solid, nice round 20. If you want to be number 20, please call now. Okay, we had a 20th check-in there, but it was very faint, and I had a problem copying. So if you could come back and give me your call sign again, I'll get you in the logbook here. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Echo 8, Zulu, Quebec, Oscar, Shannon, Alliance.
Okay, I got you there. KE8ZQO, Zulu, Quebec, Oscar, in Alliance. Thanks for joining us. And let me turn it over to you. Thanks for being number 20 here tonight.
Please bear with me. This is my first contact after getting my license. Trying to get the feel for things, and got to get a little bit better setup. But you are my first contact. Kilo Echo 8, Zulu, Quebec, Oscar, Shannon.
Well, Shannon, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and I am honored to be your first contact. You could, if you're keeping track, you could log this as K8BF, and then my call sign is KE8BWA. I'm Andrew, and I'm over in Mogador, although the repeater is in Kent, so you're making a pretty good reach there, Alliance to Kent. As you develop your station, it'll be even stronger, but that's pretty good for number 1 there. That's a good haul. So very nice, and we're happy to have you on the net here tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m., and we'd be happy to have you. So congratulations on the license. It's a world of fun, and as you might have heard if you've been listening to the net so far, there's a lot that you can get involved in between things like meteor scatter and portable operating from parks and building an HF station. So welcome to the hobby. It's always exciting to have somebody new. So great check-in so far. I'll turn it back to you if you have any other comments, or we'll just move on. Just let me know, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that, and got the butterflies excited. All new to me. Just trying to get the hang of it, trying to listen and have a computer, little SDR going. Just trying to put it all together. Again, Kilo Echo 8, Zulu, Quebec, Oscar, Shannon, and Andrew.
Very good. Well, I hope to hear you on the net again. We'd be happy to have you join us anytime, and I mentioned this earlier, but we actually offer a certificate if you check in 10 times in a row. We'll send out a nice certificate to kind of commemorate the occasion, but we're happy to have you, and you're in a very radioactive area. I don't have it on hand right now, but I know there's a net around in Alliance, and there's a lot of other local stuff going on radio-wise as well, so I'm sure you'll have a blast, and like I said, congratulations. So thanks again for joining us tonight. Is there any other station that would like to join us? Please go ahead and call K8BF.
ACAJR recheck.
Go ahead, Andy. ACAJR, over to you.
Thank you. I wanted to put this out there also. One of our club members, Tony, KD8BBK, is going to be starting a CW class over at the Alliance Community Hospital on Tuesday. The first class is the 19th, and it'll be at 7 o'clock in the cafeteria conference room 1A. So if anybody's interested to learn CW, he said he's going to start off just basic and work from there. Tony's a pretty good CW operator. AC8JR. Back to net.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, just to add on that, I tried to learn CW a few times, and it took a class for me to kind of get over the hump. I think for some people that organization and accountability really helps. It worked for me, so if you've tried and you're thinking about a class, that might be a good option there. And CW is a lot of fun. It's worth it. Worth the work to learn. There's a lot of stuff going on, like POTA is pretty big now, and it's really not that hard to do once you know the basics, because it's a pretty standard exchange. So there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with CW, so I encourage you to check that out if you're interested. Okay, any other check-ins, please call K8BF. Okay, one more call for our Thursday night 2-meter net here on the K8IV repeater system. Please call K8BF if you'd like to join us. Alrighty, well, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and close this net. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to check into this net. Your participation is very much appreciated. PCARS would like to especially thank the K8IV repeater owner for allowing us to use the repeater system for the PCARS net. I'll now turn this repeater back to regular amateur use. 7-3 to everyone. Hope to hear you again soon. K8BF, is clear, and also K8BWA is clear. Have a good evening and happy holidays.
KE8 ZQO, KE8 ZQO, AC8 JR. Nothing heard. AC8 JR clear.
Bye.